Lightfall is already less than a week away and the best DPS loadouts are changing. Although rocket launchers remain unaffected, linear fusion rifles are getting hit hard by the nerf hammer. Bungie announced earlier in the season that linear fusion rifles are receiving a 15% damage reduction to mini-bosses, champions, and bosses. Heavy grenade launchers are gaining a 20% damage increase, making them the next best damage option in the game. And so I comprised a list of the best grenade launchers to grab before Lightfall arrives, as well as the best roles to have on each of them. A quick disclaimer though, all these rankings are my personal opinion and suggestions. Although I think these weapons are good, that doesn't mean that they are good for every player. With all that aside, here are the 7 best grenade launchers for Lightfall. Starting off with our first grenade launcher and ranked 7th on the roster, Love and Death was a grenade launcher first introduced in Shadowkeep. It is farmable by completing the Essence of Insanity acquired from Nightmare Hunt Insanity on the Moon. You can also get this quest from the Lectern of Enchantment once you complete it. Love and Death can roll with Spike Grenades, which is hands down the best perk to have on every grenade launcher. It rolls with Clown Cartridge, Full Court, and One for All. Although Full Court is far more sought after, One for All may be a better choice in some situations because of how easy it can be to get those 3 hits on enemies with your grenade launcher, giving you that 35% damage increase for 10 seconds. Since this weapon is a rapid fire frame, it has far more ammo reserves than most, letting you deal more damage in a short amount of time. This grenade launcher may not be the best choice all the time, however, it does have a unique spot in your inventory for those special situations. Perfect for a casual player, this grenade launcher is always a solid choice. Next up, number 6 is Tarnation, another rapid-fire grenade launcher craftable and dropped in the Throne World. This grenade launcher is very similar to Love and Death and also rolls with Spike Grenades, Clown Cartridge, and One for All. It can roll with Chain Reaction 2, which can be paired with Arc 3.0 since Tarnation is also Arc. Once again, this isn't our best damage-dealing grenade launcher, but it does its job when it comes to clearing out enemies. Continuing on, 5th on the list is Parasite, the worm-launching bazooka. This grenade launcher is used heavily against bosses, especially on Atrax 1 from the Deepstone Crypt. Parasite deals more damage than some of the best weapons in the game, but is held back by its slow velocity and extremely small magazine. Parasite's intrinsic perk called Worm's Hunger states, this weapon fires hive worms which explode on impact. The size and damage of the explosion scales with the number of enemies you've defeated just before firing this weapon. Basically, this perk enables the previous kills you get before launching this weapon to increase damage, stacking up to 20 times. The exotic perk on this weapon is called Worm Byproduct. Taking damage from your own worm projectile detonation empowers your weapons for a short time. This perk is basically useless though because of how hard it is to activate without, well, unaliving yourself. Parasite is also unaffected by the 20% buff. Overall, this weapon does a ton of damage and I think this will be a great choice in your loadout for Lightfall. This next grenade launcher was available during Season of Plunder, and coming in 4th is Cry Mutiny. This giant cannon was the ritual weapon during Season 18 and is now available at the exotic kiosk. It has the perks Incandescent and Demolitionist in the first column, and in the second column, Swashbuckler and Vorpal weapon. Personally, I think Demolitionist Vorpal is the way to go, especially with a Fusion Grenade Phoenix Protocol build as a Warlock, or Incandescent can be a great perk for those ad clearing situations. It also comes with the Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit origin traits, with my favorite being the Vanguard for that extra health boost after a kill. Compared to our previous 2 grenade launchers, Cry Mutiny has great base stats, regardless of being a different archetype. With Demolitionist, reloading won't be a problem because each time you use your grenade, it reloads your magazine. Like I said, this is perfect for a Starfire Warlock. Cry Mutiny is a great weapon to have in your inventory if you're using an exotic in your primary or energy slots. As a great option for your favorite builds and damage phases, Cry Mutiny is an amazing all-arounder. Number 3 on the list, and one of the best and easiest weapons to get currently, is the Typhon GL5. This grenade launcher is acquirable through world drops and by just playing the game. You can get it from Legendary Engrams, Prime Engrams, Banshee 44 if you're lucky, Strikes, Crucible, Gambit, pretty much anywhere and anything. Typhon rolls with Spike Grenades, Demolitionist, and Explosive Light. One for All and Chill Clip also roll on this weapon. Although One for All and Chill Clip are good choices for damage, they are nearly as good as Explosive Light's damage. Explosive Light has a damage increase of up to 85% by just picking up Orbs of Light before using your grenade launcher. Typhon is also a legendary grenade launcher, allowing you to use an exotic in your other weapon slots and still do very good damage to mini-bosses, champions, and even raid bosses. This means you can use Izanagi's Burden, Witherhoard, or any other exotic weapon of your choice for that extra bit of damage. The Typhon GL5 is a great choice for a strong damage and a versatile weapon to have in your inventory for when Lightfall comes out. I know I will definitely be taking this gun with me into the new raid coming out on March 10th. Before I get into the final 2 grenade launchers on this list, I would like to say how much I appreciated the love and support on all my videos recently. The amount of love you all showed on my last video was amazing and I am beyond grateful for everything. I work really hard on these videos and I love making them for you all to watch, so thank you. Moving on to the next grenade launcher, coming in second place is the Wendigo GL3, Normal and Adept. The Wendigo was originally introduced in the Season of Opulence and is now acquired from Nightfall Strikes. It is also obtainable this week as of the creation of this video. Although a normal god roll of Wendigo outshines most heavy weapons by a long shot, the adept version is far better once it is masterworked. The rolls to keep an eye out for on this GL are in the first column, auto-loading holster or clown cartridge, and in the second column, explosive light or full court. I recommend going for auto-loading holsters so that you can use another weapon like Izanagi's while your stowed Wendigo can reload. I also recommend going for explosive light because, like I said, it has a huge damage increase. Don't hear me saying full court isn't a good option though, because it lasts for every shot unlike explosive light. Wendigo also rolls spike grenades. Since Wendigo can be adept, you can use adept mods such as adept big ones, giving you that extra 7.8% damage increase to bosses. All in all, I think Wendigo is the best legendary option for a heavy weapon next season. Farm for this weapon while you still can in the remainder of the week because it may not return next season. In our first place spot, the most beloved grenade launcher of all Destiny history. Players used to never take this gun out of their heavy slot, and it was the best weapon to use against any sort of boss, enemy or champion, Anarchy. Released in the Season of the Forge during the Forsaken expansion, Anarchy was the exotic raid weapon for possibly the most beloved raid in all of Destiny 2 history. Sadly, Scourge of the Past was sunset, but you can obtain Anarchy from the exotic kiosk at the tower for 240 spoils of conquest. I have a video covering the best spoils farm right now, so be sure to check it out. Anyways, this electrifying grenade launcher has amazing stats. Anarchy's intrinsic perk is called Arc Traps. It states, grenades stick to surfaces and chain arc bolts to other mines. Anarchy received a pretty serious nerf a while back, and this 20% buff to heavy grenade launchers I talked about before may be enough to make it great again. When paired with some other great DPS weapons like Heritage or the Aikilo sniper rifle, Anarchy will be extremely strong and hands down the best heavy weapon in the game. This weapon has a lot of potential for next season. I will be taking it with me into GMs and other endgame content. With the Lightfall expansion coming out next week and Strand with it, I'm sure there will be lots of new builds. Grenade launchers will be on the rise as the top damage dealer, and there will be a lot of loadouts to make with the new seasonal artifact mods too. The new raid will also change a lot of how the game is played. I am extremely excited about Lightfall's release, and with it, all the changes that are coming to the game. Like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more content like this. Also, comment which grenade launcher you're going to be taking with you into Lightfall, and I would love to hear what role you're going to use. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in Lightfall. Later.